basic hand skills. When the beginner is starting, we have no idea of their background, of their understanding of martial arts, of their coordination. So we always start from the same place. We start with the 5 basic hand skills for number 1, right foot back, hands are up, and we start. It starts just like this. Lead hand first, hana, pull, and back. Hana, pull, and back. Hana, pull, and back. You make sure that they're turning this back foot so they can reach and get power with that rear hand. So that's important. And then we start a little faster. Hana, pull, set, ne, asod. Be sure to not go too fast. Remember, I said a little faster. And of course, we change sides. And we start again. Hana, pull. Hana, pull. Hana, pull. So at least first 3 slow. And then a little faster. Hana, pull. Set. Ne, asod, and we change sides. Ha! So a couple of important points. You have to make sure they have the right habit of keeping the elbows in right here, so it's not like that. And the hands are up, so it's not like this. And when one hand is going out, this one stays right where it is. And when the rear hand goes out, this one comes right back to where it was. So, sounds simple, but you'll notice that lots of people who trained a long time still do stuff like this. There's a hand, and then like this. Where's this hand? Okay? So it takes a lot of practice and reinforcement. So make sure that's on 1, this is up. 2, legs are bent. It's hard to tell with these pants because they're very black, right? But my legs are bent. People tend to start doing this. They get lazy very easily. So make sure legs are bent. Right, now I'll do this angle also. See, look, bent. And when they're punching, look at my shoulders. It's not, right? Even my shoulder shifts. See that? Shifts in, right? From here, I'm shifting in, slightly shifting in. So in the beginning, they can do, watch my feet. Just shifting the body. Hana, pull. Hana. See, I shift my weight. Shift in, hana, pull. But eventually, we want to have this happening. Watch my lead foot. See that? So my momentum is also forward. 1, 2. It takes a little time. So in the beginning, we'll settle for na, pull. That's number 1. Number 1 prepares you for number 2. What is number 2? I block with a hand, right where it belongs, right where it was. Pull. With his hand, right where it was when we did number 1. So if we train them correctly with number 1, keeping the hands right here. This is the fortress, these are the guards. They maintain guard over the fortress. They protect this. If they understand that, and it becomes a habit, then when they're doing number 2, it's easy. Ana, pull. Ana, pull. So be aware, we don't want this happening. Watch what just happened with this hand. We want this here. Elbow still same spot. So number 1, the elbow's in the same spot. Number 2, elbow's in the same spot. Now, when I'm doing the blocking, watch, it's not rolling my arm up, right? Different style, right? We did the punch. What did we do? Look at my shoulders, look at my body. See that shift? See that shift? When I do the block, it's almost like that. I'm still shifting, but I'm coming here. So notice it's going out. So my hand is shooting this way as opposed to shooting that way. But this is still happening. It's the same body motion. So 1 is the foundation for 2. In this angle, shift. Now, watch this. Beware of this. Watch. Looks funny, but that's what a lot of beginners do. They may start like this. Hana, pull. Hana, pull. And they come back to the next class, and they're doing it faster, and they're doing this. If you notice, I'm not blocking my head, and I'm not really punching either. So we have to make sure that we keep reinforcing how to shift this. So there's power in that block, right? And how to get power in that punch. 1. Energy and power in the hands and the fingertips. This forearm is strong. And 2. Which brings us to another point. You have to make sure, once they got the kind of basic motion, the quality of their technique has to be stabilized, meaning what? They got to make a tight fist. See this? Loose hands like this, right? That's a terrible habit. Many have that habit. This, that's an easy break. Someone does this with the loose hand. I guide the hand with that palm, bring it to the elbow. The hand's broken, right? So tight. We have to make sure their fist is firm, right? They roll that in tight. Fist is firm, wrist is locked, and forearm is firm. Firm, not loose, relaxed. This is firm, and from here to here is relaxed. This is the yin, this is the yang. We need this part for the mobility, right? And we need this part for the stability. The yin and yang have to work together. So the same thing. When we're here, my fists are firm. Both my wrists are firm. My forearms are firm. The shoulders, body is relaxed. That takes a little bit of practice. So when I do the block, my hand may open, it opens, but it is sharp and it is strong. Na and tool. So once we have a fluid motion, we want to start getting a little bit of power. Power, power. If they don't train for power, they will not develop what's necessary for real conflict. Power. Because punches without power are powerless, right? Now, so we got number 2. So now number 3. This way first. It's the low block. And when I do the low block, look. See where it is? It's not here. People they do this also. They go right here. They think they're blocking. Bad habit, right? But what's also bad is this. Well, good. A lot of lost time, a lot of waste energy, a lot of opening. So from here, my elbow's right here. So when I block, see that? Right there. Now, there's a counter movement to the down block. Right? When we did the high block, upper block, we shifted this way. See the turn? The low block, so watch. It is a slight movement. You see my body? So it's not just this. Remember, we're never doing this. So, whole body's in play, correct body mechanics. Na, pull, twist in. So, from here, na, shift a little bit, like that, just a little bit. Have to bend my leg, pull. So when we punch and block, when we use our hands, we always use our feet. When we use our arms, we always use our legs. Yin and yang have to always work together, right? Upper body and lower body have to be synchronized, right? So, ana, pull. Ana, pull. Ana, pull. And then you do a little faster. Hana, pull, set. So they have to practice, once again, firm fist, firm wrist, and firm forearm. From here to here, should be like a steel ball. From here to here should be like a loose rope. That's the key. Now, number 3. Basic hand skills number 3 is the inside. It's a short movement. But look at my body. Once again, it's not this. That is not it. All right? It's this. So my weight is going there. Right? So it's hana, pull, twist in. Hana, shift your weight, pull. Hana, pull. Right? And of course you do it faster. Hana, pull, set. So notice, without locking the arm out. It's firm, right? It's out and back. And we change sides. It's the same thing. Na, shift, right, pull. Na. So we need to drop. This is middle. So this inside block is protecting the middle of the body. We turn, and we drop. We put power there, weight there, right? And then focusing in and straight back. So when we do it faster, hana, pull, set. So this is something that everyone must practice a lot, no matter what you are. Now, when we're doing this inside block, we have palm. So that is one. Second way is this. Looks like my palm, but I'm blocking with here. My forearm. There's a bone right here, right? So the block is actually from here all the way down to here. So you're gonna end up making contact this way, palm, knife hand, right, or forearm. So you should practice both ways to get the feel. So each way is a little different. But remember, it's the body rotation. It's the dropping of the weight. And it's the feet also. So that's strong, right? You coil, and then you come back out of the coil. Now, so we did 1, 2, right? 1, double punch. 2, high block, punch. 3, low block, punch. 4, inside block, punch. Now 5. So we do 5 a couple of ways, meaning the counter. We do 5 with the punch, and many times with the elbow. It's actually with the punch, but many times I do the elbow because what happens a lot with the outside block, depending how the punch is thrown, because a lot of punches are literally thrown, right? The outside block, you may make contact there, and it may slip right to here. Meaning that the person throws the punch, you block this, and then end up over here still. And then in your face. And your hand is over there. So that's why we're going to have to do this. Meaning that once we block, the hand's over there, and their face is right here, so they fell in after throwing the punch. So my hand's literally beside their head or behind their head. So then I pull this in the elbow because it's too close to punch. There's ways of punching, but too technical for most beginners. Yes, we can use a U-punch, right? But this is much more effective and you're getting more for your buck. So now, how do we start number 5? Outside block is this way. So first I'm gonna show you what we do not want, what's the most common. People do this. Okay? So We don't do the inside block this way. We don't do that. What do? We shift the body, we go direct. So I'm going straight this way, 45, straight. So if we don't do the inside block this way, why would we do the outside block that way? Because many people do. This way, you have no timing. If something's coming in, how can you go this way, and that way, and expect to get this over here in time? No, especially when the attacker had a head start. Impossible. That's one. Two, this way, you don't have leverage. Muscles here are not strong enough to take impact. No leverage this way. If you have leverage this way, if you do push-ups, you got a lot of leverage, you have a lot of stability, a lot of strength. If you can do a push-up this way, a wide push-up, right? So, here, even though I'm facing you, my hands go out 45. See that? That's the outside block. The inside block is the inside 45, the outside block is outside 45, right? Maybe a little, slightly less than 45. Watch, from here, so what's my hand do? I'll turn this way. My hand is going straight. See, my foot is going straight because I have leverage this way. And also, it's a shorter distance. So even with a head start, I can beat the opponent, right? So from here is hana, out. See that? Hana, out. Hana, tul. Again. Hana, tul. Again. So now, your core is involved. Hana, see that? When we did number one, what did we do? What did we do? So now we have 5, what are we gonna do? Almost the same. The difference is, when I'm doing number 1, my hand's going right there. When I do number 5, my hand's going right there. See the slight difference? And then I'm following through with the rear. So when you're starting with the beginner, and we're all beginners, we will start this way. Hana, make sure the hand is firm. Pull, and back. Low center of gravity. Hana, pull, and back. Hana, pull, and back. And then we do faster. Hana, pull, set, and change side. We do the same thing. Hana, pull. There's my hand, and back. Hana, pull, and back. Hana, pull, and back. And then we do a little speed, right? Hana, pull, set, ne, so, and change side. So, if you notice, when we do number 1, left, right, left, right, left, right. When we do number 5, left, right, left, right. You notice? Right, left, right, left, right, left. It's the same. Right, left, right, left. So, what's happening here? Number 1 is the beginning and the foundation for number 5, right? Which makes what? Complete circle. So, we do number 1, right, left, shifting our body, right, left, lower body's in play, right, left, and then we do number 5, right, left, right, left, right, left. So you see it's pretty much the same. So the 5 basic hand skills, they complete each other if they're taught correctly. But we have to make sure that when we teach them these blocks, that we teach them with quality. Because why? In a sense, you're making a mold. The teacher is creating the neurological mold within that student. So the teacher is teaching correct precision techniques that is going into that student's neurology. That is a mold. And from that mold, every time they practice, they're pouring something into that mold. Think of it as a brick. A mold for a certain size, a certain type of brick. Once the teacher has made that mold, there it is. So now what happens? The student starts to practice. They fill that mold and they take it out, they got a good brick. They practice the next day, right? The next day, they fill that mold. They got a perfect brick. They take it out, they put it over here. The next day, they practice what you taught them. So they fill that mold, take the brick out, put it over here. So eventually what happens? The student has lots of bricks that have been perfectly molded. With that, they can build something. We call that a basic foundation. A basic foundation. And when the foundation is built with precision, that means we can build strongly on it and we can build high. When we give the students techniques and skills that are not precision oriented, if we teach them improperly, we are building a mold. And if the mold is imperfect, they're going to practice, and when they practice, they're going to practice those imperfections. And they're going to have a brick. They're going to take it out for that day, put it over here. They have a mold for that day. And then next time they come and practice, same bad habits are there, put it there. And then eventually they have a lot of bricks with imperfections. So when they try to establish a solid foundation, it doesn't work out too well because the bricks have imperfections. The corners don't meet. There's cracks here, cracks there. And because they have these imperfections in their foundation, we can't build very high. It's difficult. Okay, nor can we build something very heavy and strong on it. So that's why foundational technique is really important. So yes, many people do this. They learn how to swim through the obstacles, and somehow they get their yellow belt because a lot is forgiven at that level. You know, they get their orange belt, a lot is forgiven at that level. Then they get the green belt. But then there's some challenges. That's why many students don't make it to green belt. But some develop another kind of skill. This kind of skills called moving around and avoiding. Okay, don't go to Salvador's class. Don't go to this instructor's class because this instructor makes corrections. Lots of them. Go to this other class where I can just do my thing. They won't make me work on the beginning stuff because I'm a green belt now. Or I'm a blue belt now. So some develop that kind of skill. They learn how to navigate through the school. The school's over 7 days a week, morning to late classes. So there's a lot of ways to navigate. And unless you keep your instructor busy, I'm testing for my blue belt. I need my cross hand. I'm testing for this, I need my dagger form. So of course the instructor helps you. But many times those instructors don't check the foundational techniques, foundational skills. And what happens is the student that learned the mastery of avoiding, eventually, they get to the high level testing, Bodans and black belt, and there's so much stuff. So maybe the staff form is really good because they really focused on that. They were hungry for that. Maybe their dagger form is good. Maybe their knife defense is good. Maybe their grab behinds are great. Maybe their match skills are spectacular. They may be good in many areas, but a lot of foundational stuff they don't have. So what happens? That's the student that knows all this stuff, gets to an altercation, can't do an outside block. So what happens now? They gotta fight, like really fight. So the basic stuff's not working. That's a student who throws a front kick and pushes the person back. The person goes, "That's all you got?" And now they're in trouble. Now they gotta fight. Whereas if they had that foundational stuff, they'd be able to hold their own out there anytime, anywhere. Their front kick would drop somebody. Okay, their outside block would work, and the block would do damage besides the counter. So the foundational skills are there for a reason. It's not there to waste some time or give stuff to do to get another belt. No, this is stuff that people need, because there are many. I've been to many clubs, health clubs, and I've seen people there. I knew they did other styles of martial arts, and some were high ranking. And I see them there pushing the bag. I go, "What are you doing?" They said, "Oh, I gotta learn how to fight." No, they needed to learn their martial arts well. Because if you're doing Aikido, you learn how to not fight. You also learn how to handle the fight. And I met quite a few people in Aikido that had a different concept. I don't know how to fight. No, they missed something. Okay, same thing with Tai Chi. Okay, all martial arts works. It all works. The stuff that didn't work, those guys were killed, died off. Okay, everything works. The issue is this. Number one, do you have the right teacher? And number two, are you the right student? Because sometimes it's the right teacher, but the student not hearing effectively, not seeing effectively, and not thinking effectively, and not acting effectively. How do I know this? I've seen it for decades, all over, in numerous martial arts that were great. Students had great teachers, but the students didn't do well. And I've also seen it here. And you'll see it for yourself. There are those who are all in. Mind, body, spirit, and soul. They're doing martial arts. They are a martial artist, not a martial hobbyist. Okay? They're on the path, they follow the way. And there are those who come and put their toe in the water. They go like, "Let me smell that tea first. Let me see. It's different." Okay, so our school has something for everyone. Okay, when it comes to martial arts, this is a banquet hall. Some people want to take a couple of crackers and some dip, and that's what they want. That's fine. They help pay the rent. But what's available for you is the banquet. We want the student that wants the banquet. But every new student, essentially, it's like a newborn in the martial arts. If they've trained before, another story. Some people come here, they got 3 different black belts and 3 different styles, and sometimes that gets a training. When they come to our banquet, they're like, "Yes, I'm ready to eat." And it's there for them. But most students, no, it's overwhelming. So you got to give a little bit of time. You don't give a child a steak, right? You don't give a 12-year-old, sake, Baby must have baby food for a reason, because it's easy to digest. So the same thing with the martial arts. We have to make sure we're giving them stuff that's easy to digest, but is very nutrient rich. So the basics, giving correctly, that's the first step. So keep in mind when you're teaching, when you're helping someone, if you're doing the 5 basic hand skills, this is the way to teach the way. Oh, so I talked about number 5, outside and elbow. Yes, they can learn that also. So same thing, side But make sure when doing the elbow, they're not hitting here. It's this part. They make contact, it's here. And not too hard because they can hurt themselves. In your hands, there's a whole other system of acupuncture points and meridians. In your hands. So, depending what you press and how you press it, sometimes it's good. It activates more health and vitality for certain areas. But if you damage it, you can affect your kidney through your hand. That's why many people who bought those books learn Iron Palm in 100 days, or saw some movies and started beating up their hands, got sick with unexplainable illnesses. They couldn't make the connection, they had no idea. So your hands are very important. They're antennas, they're very powerful, but also within your hands, you can find all your internal organs. So when they're doing this, not too hard, and also the right spot. It's here. It's not that bone in here. If you're feeling pain, that's wrong. Remember that. If you're feeling pain, that is wrong. So, how do we teach? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You cannot teach all 5 at one time. They won't get anywhere. We teach 1 and 2, the first class. Maybe 1, 2, and 3. Because you're also teaching them leg skills. Leg skills, you're teaching 1 and 2. If they've never kicked before, 1 and 2, knee and front kick. Okay, there's plenty to start for teaching. Yes, in the drills, they can do the shuffle, and they know how to do, turn, or any one of those kicks. But now they're doing it as a warm-up, right? What I actually teach them how to do the kick. They're learning how to move their body to prepare for the kick. They're learning how to coordinate, get warm, right? Think of sculpting. We start with these mats. Then we start chipping away what doesn't belong there. And then we start chipping a little more away, which doesn't belong there. And eventually, we have a form. And then we start polishing it, right? So same thing with kicking. They may start like this, that's all. They don't know what they're doing. They go, I'm kicking. They're not kicking. They think they're kicking. Those are things, but they're not really kicking yet, right? That's the max. We're beginning. Later on, we'll start getting more specific how to do that kick, right? But that's part of learning the 5 basic leg skills. So in the beginning, they're learning knee. This is their first class. It's knee and front kick. That's what they're learning. Yes, they may do the other kicks or go through the motions, but we're not teaching that the first class because why? It's too much data. They cannot retain it. So remember, first class, basic leg skills, 1 and 2. In fact, here's the formula. The best formula is this. Very first class, hand skills, 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Then leg skills, 1 and 2. And then basic defense, number 1. So it's like a small pyramid. Hand skills, 1, 2, and 3. Leg skills, 1 and 2. Basic defense, number 1. Okay, that is the best, simplest, most efficient first class, okay, for a Hapkido student. But keep in mind, like I said, yes, they're going to do a warm-up. Yes, they're going to be doing the push-ups and the ab work and the mat warm. They're going to do all that stuff. Everything we do, they're going to be doing. And they'll be doing some of the drills. And yes, they'll do outside crescent kick, maybe inside, but they'll do it like this. See that? Just like that. That's how they're going to do it. Just like that, right? If they have a little bit of talent, they do it like this. But you see, it's part of the warm-up. So remember, don't confuse the warm-up with the drills or the drills with the lesson. Because after the warm-up and drills, that's when the lesson begins. And that's why we should divide the class. And those who need the beginning stuff, they review the beginning stuff. So, by the way, so what's the second class? The first class is hand skills 1, 2, and 3. Leg skills 1 and 2. Basic class number 1. What's the next class? Review. Basic hand skills 1, 2, and 3. They have that, then we go to 4. Leg skills 1 and 2. They should have that. Then we go to 3. Basic defense. 1 review. They should have that. Then we go to 2. Almost the same as 1, it's a little bit different. Footwork is almost the same. So if you notice, once again, there's a little pyramid, a triangle. The base got a little wider. The triangle got a little bit wider. That's all that happened. Okay? So keep in mind, if you're going to be teaching, know how to teach the way, the right way.